Hey everyone, it's Tony George from DocSports.com. A big game in the Big 12 tonight, battle of heavyweights. Iowa State at home against Kansas. We're going to talk about this game for your free play. Illinois blew out Indiana last night for your freebie winner. Indiana can't beat anybody that's good, by the way. Just future reference. Park that in the memory bank. Seriously. Anybody they played that was good, they got absolutely destroyed against, including Illinois last night. But nonetheless, let's talk about this game. Then we'll tell you everything that's going on over at the website today. Thumbs up, subscribe, all those good things here so you get notified when myself or anybody from DocSports.com puts out some freebies for you. You're here for free plays. Get notified when they're up so you can get them. All right, let's talk about this game. Anybody that knows anything about Big 12 basketball knows that Hilton Colosseum in Ames, Iowa is a snake pit to play in. We all know about Fog Allen, a couple other venues in the Big 12, but if you've never been to a game there, it rivals anybody in the country. It is a very difficult place to go in and win, and Iowa State is a 7-point favorite now as I tape this at 10 o'clock in the morning Central Standard Time. Opened to 6, went to 6.5, now it's up to 7. Total 143.5. Now, Kansas is off a win where they scored 54 points and still won by 14 against a highly regarded Cincinnati team. That was a road win. Little concerned about Kansas' scoring this year, offensively. Not concerned about Iowa State. They're scoring 86 points a game. And I looked at this game 6 ways from Sunday. Now, home court is worth a full 3 points here. So they're saying that Iowa State, who's power rated higher than Kansas, is 4 points better at home. But, you got to figure in the 3 for -7. It's a tough pill to swallow to lay 7 against Kansas, especially this time of year where Bill Self starts gearing things up for the postseason. This is a year he's not going to win the Big 12. I think Houston's going to probably take it. They're a damn good basketball team. Can't wait to see them play Kansas. And Iowa State is just a beast at home. They're on a 10-0 run, 8-2 against the spread, putting people away. They got very lucky. I had no interest in it, but I watched with great intensity. I even taped it. That Iowa State game against Texas Tech this weekend, and they should have lost that game. They won it in overtime by 1. Texas Tech had them by the short and curlies and let them off the hook. Couldn't buy a basket late. Couldn't buy one in overtime either. And gave it up. They just choked. But Iowa State was beat in that game, and they just grab victory from the jaws of defeat, which is a sign of a good team, especially when you're on the road and not playing your best. All that being said, I can't trust Kansas on the road. A couple of good teams they played on the road. They lost by 9 at Missouri, and we're all finding out that Missouri is a very good basketball team right now. Off another big win against Florida. Wow. And they lost at Creighton, who's above average, but not the typical Creighton team of McDermott years past. But they lost in Omaha by 13 in that game. So I don't trust them on the road. But what I do trust here is the total. And bear in mind, this is a free play, and we're not betting the farm on this thing. But I wanted to give you a marquee game today because all my picks today are all under the radar games that none of them are in Power 5 conferences, which is how I like to roam. I like to eat that way, but I think this goes under 143.5. You got a couple of top 40 defenses here. they allow combined 127 a game. And in big games like this, especially when Bill Self knows that he does not have a high-powered offense this year for whatever reason. I don't know why Kansas can't get, top-tier shooting guards. You're frickin' Kansas. You're like North Carolina, Duke, Gonzaga, some of these big, schools that have UConn, schools like that where you can recruit the best talent in the world and they don't have a flat-out killer shooter. Name me the last one they had. Shocking, actually. But I think they're going to work the low post. I think they're going to slow it down. I think Bill Self is a good enough coach, and he's one of the best coaches in the country, to know that if he wants to run with these guys, he's going to lose. He's going to lose big. He's going to slow it down, play a half-court game, try and stuff them on defense. And I think a big game like this, the defenses shine. And by the way, Iowa State's defense is not without merit. But you look at some of the games that Kansas has played recently, and I was going to pull this up. They've allowed 40, 55, 48, 61, 53, 60. That's just their last 6 games. So this is Bill Self's recipe for success, is to slow it down, play good defense, work the clock, find a good shot, take it. They're not big from hitting on the perimeter. I didn't look at their perimeter numbers. I had this game actually pulled up, since we're just sitting here being friendly and everything. But Kansas ranks 221 in college basketball in three-point percentage. And you're talking about a defense at Iowa State that only allows 31%. And Iowa State, they rank 138th in three-point percentage. And Kansas allows 28%, which is top 20 in the country from three-point range. Take the under 143.5. Over at the website today, as I mentioned, we have a 4-pack in college basketball, all mid-major small conference games tonight, kind of under the radar games. We had a 1-2 day yesterday after going on a 13-5 tear. So we'll rebound today with a solid card for you. First play I've had in the NBA in almost a week. I don't put out a lot of NBA plays. Houston-Denver going at it tonight out of Mile High. In the altitude. Good basketball game. 2 good teams, both surging. I've got a couple of angles in that game that I like. We're going to put that out. And we have a 4-unit NBA player prop. As always, I tell you exactly like it is. We had a rare NBA prop loss last night, and we lost our first top pick of the season with props, as McCollum for New Orleans never got off the bus. Averaging 25 points a game his last 5, he had 8. Only played 29 minutes. It happens. I'm not happy about it. It's a bad call. Didn't see that coming. He'd been tearing it up all year. He had 13 points the game before that against a really good defense. And anybody who follows the NBA knows the team they were playing last night did not have a good defense. And guess what? He didn't do jack crap. Jack squat. So we lost it. We'll rebound today. We're 17-9, our last 26 with these NBA props. Now we have an NFL wild card coming up this weekend. We have the national title game. Got Ohio State hanging 8.5 against Notre Dame. They've looked as good as anybody. These are, what is he, 7 and 8 seeds are in the national title game. So, they kind of got it right with the 12-team playoff. Here's 2 teams that earned their way here. I think the road for Ohio State's been a little bit more impressive, but 8.5, still working on that. We will have a StreamYard podcast, myself and hopefully Griffin Murphy, on Friday, and talk a little bit about the wild card games in a raw and candid manner. That will be on my Twitter at TGeorgeSports or my Facebook, Tony George Sports. We'll do that. You can watch that live on either one of those feeds, and it's archived there. So that's the update on the podcast this week. Talking with Griff this afternoon about starting a basketball show next week for college hoops. We'll maybe throw in some NBA, too, while we're at it. Maybe just do a basketball show and not necessarily college. So we'll keep you informed on that. Doc Sports, free $60. Link in the description below. Expand it or just go to the website. It says free 60. We'll park $60 in any new account. Comes with a profit guarantee. If you're a youngster and don't use the laptop and get on, do all that, you could text the word Tony to 29022. You can sign up right on your smartphone. Get yourself an account, get hooked up. Let's rock and roll. Not my greatest Tuesday. Hey, we're 0-0 today. Let's fire. Let's go.